Good morning, everyone. I have a few new singing bowls I'm going to test out with you. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath first. Sending lots of love and blessings. I haven't tested these bowls with my keyboard, but it says that that's the note C. And I also have the note A here. I am Om Ha. I am Om Ha. I am Om Ha. And so it is. Okay. I'm going to show you the pictures of my reads today. Again, we have the 4D, 5D, 6D Union read and the Twin Flame read. This is the SIRIAN Starseed deck. This is the, let me make sure I'm showing the right one. Yeah. Okay, so this is the Union read. For those of you not familiar, the 4D, 5D, and 6D, the left is the feminine, the right's the masculine, the bridge between is the center. The incoming divine feminine, the outgoing divine masculine, the underlying energy, and the closing energy. And then we have the Twin Flame read here. The basic read is the SIRIAN Starseed deck, and the 7-deck full clarified read is here. That's the read that's in front of you now. Okay. And so the first thing I wanted to tell you about was when I was trying to go to sleep last night, I heard a word, and the word was Chiquanawa. And I was getting very much American Indian. The Incas were coming up. So it was 2 o'clock in the morning, and I got up because I didn't want to forget the word. So I put it into Wiktionary to see what words were coming up. And so this morning when I put them together more, the information I was getting here was not only, if someone's familiar with that whole word, Chiquanawa, let me know. But what I've come up with so far in my downloads about this word was, first of all, quinoa was coming up regarding that. So quinoa, and then the chi ahead of that, which is life force, salt, the seed, the fire. And really chi and ki, C-H-I and Q-U-E, can be the same word. And they also both have to do with that life force energy. And then there was nawa. So the different spellings can be a birthmark. In Filipino, nawa means please, so it has to do with gratitude. And also in Japan, it means rope or cord. So that can reference the cord between the twins as well, and the gratitude. And then nawa with an O is to walk, or new and knotted also come up. So again, knotted connects with the rope. So quinoa came up. So quinoa, we may be being guided to take quinoa. So look it up as a nutritional supplement. I actually just bought some to add to my juicing in the morning. And the other messages coming from Chiquanawa was that the chi is the salt, the seed, and the life force, and the fire. The ki, which also can reference the ki, being the key to life force, but also was coming up regarding deliverance and to give and present. It also is the turtle, and also, of course, in French, it's who, whom. It also means if, which, what, here, anyone, any, and CHI, which is the first word. CHI and QUE can be the same word. So again, and it's funny too, because my mom used to call my sister, my sister's named after my mother, so her name was Mary too, but her middle name was Constance, so we always called her Connie, not Mary, because my mom was Mary. And my mother used to call my mom Kiki Wump. So it's just funny that Kiki came up because both of these two words are the same. And Kiki Wawa, which is very close to Kiki Wump. So that could be my mother sending a message as well. But regarding the life force, the turtle, which is one of the 4 benevolent animals in Vietnamese coming up here, and also the jack in the deck of cards, and again, to deliver, to present, to give, was coming up with ki. So chi, ki, and then the nawa, which is the birthmark with AWA. OWA is to walk, new or nodded, and the Filipino of NAWA is please and gratitude, and then Japanese is the rope and the cord. So what they were showing me was these 3 sections of this word, and the chi, one of the definitions is grandfather. The ki, one of the definitions is turtle, so you're the grandfather turtle, and then the Incas were coming through with gratitude. So the grandfather is the salt of the earth, the wisdom, the turtle of the gift of patience, and then the Incas with gratitude. So it was a really profound message, actually, when it came right down to it. So anyway, if anyone knows a meaning for that entire word, the Chiquanawa, please let me know. I'd really appreciate it. And now we're going to get into the read. So don't forget about the quinoa, because I've never bought quinoa before. So I'm sure a lot of you already know about it and already use it. But it was coming up to me because obviously it's a good supplement. According to what I've seen online, it looks like a really complete protein. So you might want to check it out yourself if you haven't already. And also collagen supplements were coming up today as well. Okay, so let's get into today's energies. I'm going to roll the die as well. And if I can find where I put them just now. Oh, there they are. Okay. So first of all, today is June 2nd. And by the way, tomorrow is my dad's birthday. Not that you guys care, but it's important to me. But today's June 2nd. So 2 is the High Priestess. The day adds up to 13-4, which is the Death card, or transition, transformation. So again, using the psychic abilities of the High Priestess, the secretness, right? Keeping to yourself, being wise and upstanding regarding transformation and death and crossing over, right? Because we know there's no real death. And then getting into the union read. I was also looking a little bit into the word that Sam, the illusionist, because I'd done a read with him, because he gives you your soul name, and I thought that was kind of fun to find out what his channeling would bring through as my soul name, which came up as Yuma. And so I was looking at the different spellings of Yuma, which ultimately I ended up wanting to use EUMA because my name is Evelyn. And if you write Evelyn in handwriting, in script, it comes up as EU instead of EV because the V is rounded when you write it in script. So it's like Ev Ma. But it's really funny because the EU is mother also. So it's like mother, mother. But it's really like the egg to the mother. It's all in one. It's like you and your inner child. That kind of energy was coming up here. The U of the lamb comes up here as well. So all of those energies of the mother and child, and the innocence of the lamb. It also is May and Monday comes up under you and Ma, as well as emotion, water, milk, truth, to stand for the truth, nature and magic, to halt, wait, come back, kiss, marry, the loyal dog, using skin, to hide. And again, the egg, the lamb, the name, the ego, the I, the you, the them, the there. So it's like encompassing everything. It's also the one-to-one, the I to I, the one-to-one, the you, as in a lamb, the you to you, the self to mine, the mother to father, because Ma means mother and father. So it literally means mama, but it also means mother and father. All is one. I am aham. I or ah is to breathe in, and am is to breathe out. Okay, and then I was getting yes, ma'am, no doubt, ama. So very interesting the way that was coming up. I just thought you'd like this to understand the process I went through to when I receive a word, how I kind of break it down. So going back to the union read here. Just give me 1 second. Just want to make sure I was looking at the right one. Yeah, okay. So the union read was 4D, 5D, 6D, and this is for today, June 2nd, 2021. And of course, yesterday was the 1st of June, so the energy was of the Magician, which we talked about then, and the 12, 3 of the Hanging Man yesterday. So today is the High Priestess and the Death card, the transformation. So we go from 12, which is an ending, right? It's an ending cycle, and 13 is the transition cycle. So the union read here at 1:11, yesterday afternoon, we had the underlying energy of the Page of Wands, the 10 of Wands as the central energy, and the closing energy is the Ace of Wands, all Wands energy, fire, and fire just came up with the key energy, or the chi. So let's roll the die, see what comes up for you guys for the Twin Flames today, June 2nd, 2021. Okay, we have the Sun. We have the Sun. And that's probably Kiki Wump on the phone. Nope. That was a scam call because my sister said she was just going to call, so I thought it was her. All right, so we have the Sun as far as the die. We have Libra over here. And the other one is number 5. Okay, so 5 is about the transition, right? Because that's all about change and freedom and expansion. And it's also the Hierophant. We have the Libra energy of the balance, balancing the scales, always trying to come back to balance. And then the Sun of the empowerment, the life force. So kind of referencing the energies I got up from Chichinawa or Chiquanawa. Because we had the life force is that Sun energy. The gift is the gift is that 5 energy of expansion and freedom, of change. And then the Libra energy comes up as the gratitude of the and balance of it's like gratitude is what brings you into balance. That's and Spirit is connected with me. So that's the message I was just getting. So coming into this union read, we have the Sekhmet energy of the Page of Wands, the female warrior with a mask of a tribal boy, holding the flame while worshiper is on their knees, pleading for their flame to be reignited. Sexual energy flare or feeling forced to beg for sex, that could be in a marriage or relationship. The other uninterested, expecting all to come to them. The childish idolization, climbing up from the dungeon, and the weight of the world with flame in hand, leaving the wounded warrior behind, climbing to the light towards a new passion now ignited here in this read. The incoming divine feminine is the 2 of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, and the Page of Swords. There's 3 pages here. So a lot of young energy or a lot of message energy here, with the Page of Wands floating on air, with the Page of Pentacles curious about their abilities, and the Page of Swords curious about the light. Floating like a butterfly and sting like a, instead of like a bee, it was coming up, float like a butterfly, and the sting of being, one a seeker, one a healer, each with their own tools, each unique, both playing off the fire starter, or the Page of Wands, who's unaware that the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Swords are awake. Or perhaps the Page of Wands is pretending not to know and keeping to themselves, keeping their energy field clear. But where is the love, right? Because the only page missing is the Page of Cups. Or just lots of messages here with the Page of Wands dealing with multiple thoughts of others, inspiring others, and perhaps attracting the young people and young children here. And that's the feminine, which the feminine, I'm sure, resonates very much with the young children, because they're probably a lot of the people who resonate with the divine feminines. The 4D here is the star, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Knight of Cups. The Divine Feminine rock star leading the children to their higher selves, teaching them to walk like an Egyptian, to rock the boat, to heal self and receive the light and sound the song of the spheres. The Divine Masculine Knight of Cups with a cup of coffee in the green room, surfing the wave of the infinity pool of man-made surfing waves or swimming laps or training in the ocean or with rough emotions, bridging with the Ten of Pentacles, the family, business, or community or legacy, heaven on earth, or red or peaches, or all her crystals and the garden of prayer, or Georgia peach in a state of crystalline and pantomime or garden estate. So that was very interesting the way that came through. The 5D here is the Seven of Cups, the Ten of Wands, and Reason, which is the Emperor. The Divine Feminine spiraling upward, playing follow the leader, carving a path to the stars in an accordion effect, a breathing affect. The Divine Masculine reasoning, the Emperor, but for him that means he is using his senses, because to him reasoning is using his senses. He may be dealing with an arthritis flare, or ditching attachments or a false hand, or melting metal, or burning a compost pile in wood and metal, perhaps shop or workshop. Bridging the Emperor's cauldron and the New York state of mind, the Empire state that is never-ending floors fading into the clouds higher and higher, making light brighter and brighter, for Atlas to follow while releasing the wounded warrior, leaving behind the old way of being, no longer needing to stay in the dark. And the Spirit's connecting with me again. The 6D here is the Eight of Cups, the Two of Pentacles, and the Chariot. The Divine Feminine aligned and walking away, or feeling Batman on the beach, which would reference the Divine Masculine, all cloaked and daggered, done with his alignment, the Divine Masculine ascending fast in the Chariot, bridging in surrender to the universe, to all that is, at 149, which is the Magician embodiment, and then 49 of the Nine of Cups, of getting your wish, being satisfied with self. So the Divine Feminine here, not yet able to be seen by all amongst the trillions of stars, where only the brightest get noticed, spiraling up and up while others just starting out get their ducks in a row and taking a long break, leaving all his or her emotional work behind, or a trip to the desert or ocean, or to discover the horizon line. Perhaps the Divine Feminine manifesting the perfect beach or desert home, away from the storms of water and sand, or land and sea. The Divine Masculine here is whipping up a tidal wave and a fire as distractions, as he takes off, manifesting a car, travel, a move, or ascension, discovering all of his senses. The bridge here is from the backyard pool and garden to the basement oven, and landing where the grass meets the sea, and etheric whales are always at hand, UFOs with holes in the middle, and beautiful pink auras dancing across the sky. Atlas of the Ten of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles coming up here as Hercules meets the Rock of Gibraltar, the Ten of Cups, right? The ultimate emotional fulfillment at the altar. The Rock of Gibraltar for bliss state, which is then the Ten of Swords reversed. The Ten of Wands leaving, the Nine of Wands behind. The Ten of Pentacles leaving, the Nine of Pentacles sovereign behind, right? So when you found your sovereignty, you no longer need your sovereignty. This process is always about going into it to achieve it, to realize you no longer need it anymore. So then Spirit's connecting with me. The Ten of Pentacles leaving the sovereign behind, because just when you find your satisfaction with self, you then want to be with someone else because you've found your independence. And then you draw in that perfect independent mate. So behind, leaving the sovereign behind, to meet at the 9 and 10 of Cups, right? The single energy getting their wish, and then the 10 of Cups family getting their wish, and reaching the ultimate bliss state of the 10 of Swords reversed at the altar, the Rock of Gibraltar. The G for God. The IBR is a coffee pot or kettle, and we were just talking about the masculine having a cup of coffee, but without informed consent, or each without I. or Abraham without a hum, which is represented as the breath. There's also the narrow mountain or Mesa Pass that comes up here, the wooden boat or ferry, and Dubai was coming up there. The creek, the inlet, the bay, which actually can be, where the water meets the sea, but it's not so rough, or there may not be worries about a tidal wave coming in. It's 12:21 on my clock right now, 2020 right here. How 12:21 and 2020 at the same time. How crazy is that? All right, so I was just saying, like the inlets of waterways, the bays, the made, the glades, the clearing, the over, the counterweight without the A. And A for me is the human embodiment of source in connection. So it's saying it's more of a safe place than, the outright ocean meeting the outer sea, right? Where there's more roughness and the chance of tidal waves coming in. The altar of God's counterweight. Now think of this. The Atlas Mountains and the Herculean Mountains in Africa that meet the Rock of Gibraltar points towards England because the Rock of Gibraltar is English property. And then the Strait of Gibraltar points toward the United States. And we come from England. So we have pointing to the English and then pointing to the United States, the way that the flow would go over time. The altar of God's counterweight, the Rock of Gibraltar, which is the triangle of Hercules and Atlas. And remember, Hercules is the one who took over for Atlas just temporarily, but he wasn't going to take over forever. He wasn't going to take his responsibilities over forever. He was going to let Atlas do that because that was his contract, so to speak, not Hercules's. And Atlas would not blame Hercules for not taking on his responsibilities. And those are the 2 points, base of the arrow towards the Rock of Gibraltar. So we have this triangle here, and again, there's supposed to be a triangle of light that's coming up per Sam the Illusionist on the 22nd of June, from the sun and the moon to the earth. And they're describing this as a counterweight without the connection, without the human embodiment connection. It's like you don't need anything to counterweight. The counterweight is the merging of the polarities. The altar of God's counterweight, the merging of polarity, the triangle of the sun, moon, and Gaia on 622 per Sam the Illusionist, which by the way adds up to the number 33, which is the Christ or unity consciousness, and also the Seven of Wands, standing up for oneself, taking the high ground, pointed down to the earth. So now we have that arrow pointing up to England for the Rock of Gibraltar, but now this arrow, the triangle that's coming from the sun and the moon to the earth, points down to the earth, to Gaia. And they're just showing me the masculine and the feminine here, right? The divine feminine triangle trying to angle her way through. The outgoing divine masculine here is the Two of Wands, the Nine of Swords, and the Ace of Cups. The One of Two twin flames, or 2 of 9, which is the collective consciousness, exuding love as the twin flames going through the underwater tunnels to the other side. And there's a movie I watched a couple months ago, I think. I brought it up once before, but where the kids are exploring a cave. And in order to get out of the ocean, you have to go through or out of the cave, you have to go through an underwater patch in order to come out the other side. And this was coming up as the same kind of energy, where all of a sudden you come out the other side in the water and just explode out of the water to catch your breath. But the twin flames going through the underwater tunnels to the other side and coming up for air in a big gasp and an outpouring of aqua love. The Ace of Cups, and again the aqua is the mother, the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Wands, transmuting the Nine of Swords between them with love. Love doesn't need the flames to ignite. Love has its own propulsion, igniting the passion. It goes the other way. The twins ending pain in a glorious new love or passion and inspiration, the love of each other's spirit, trading places, the Star and the Knight of Cups on the masculine side now being love. The divine feminine had Aquarius on her side, along with all the pages, the Page of Wands, Page of Pentacles, and the Page of Swords. We didn't have the Page of Cups, but on the masculine side is the Knight of Cups. The divine masculine's coming up with Aries and Cancer, and the Knight of Cups, as something just got caught in my throat, and what was between them was nothing. So there was no court cards and no major arcana that were between the masculine and feminine at this point. This union read, the number was 52, which is the Queen of Swords, right? The woman of light. In this read, she's reversed though, however. The horizontal pillars came up as 11, 17, and 24, which are Justice, Star, and the Queen of Wands. And the horizontal, or the vertical pillars came up as 2, 15, 22, 2, 9, and 2, which come up as the High Priestess, the Devil, the Fool, the Three of Wands, and the High Priestess again. So the message being justice in dreams coming true for the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Swords. But this also can reference the Queen of Wands becoming the Queen of Swords. Also the High Priestess, codependent Fool, and for me the Fool upright is a very good energy with an open heart taking a leap of faith, gifts their abilities to the Queen of Swords. Or the Devil and the Fool, which also can be Capricorn and Aries, are both High Priestesses or psychics and present to each other's abilities. Or this could be Capricorn and Aries with Libra or Aquarius. So those were the messages from the union read. And now for the twin flame read, I cut the SIRIAN Starseed deck at 225, which is the High Priestess, and the 25 of the Knight of Wands, who was significant in this read, for today, June 2nd, 2021. At 234, 234 shut the door, but also 2 is the High Priestess, 34 is the Eight of Wands, the arrows of love, the energetic exchange. That's communication and travel back and forth as well. Of Flames again came up. So of Flames, flames has to do with that fire energy and the twin flames. And also then ES came up, which is also the spelling of the letter S, which can be Sophia, representing the divine feminine. Also from the numerology deck, the words were being cut off and coming up as you all and ER, which has to do with urgency of you all regarding your spirit and caring, right? Caring about it, spiritually caring about each other. Or this could be like it could be like an urgent care facility as well, but for spiritual instead of a physical urgent care, is coming up like a spiritual urgent care. And that was at 235. 234 to 5 is the Eight of Wands to the Nine of Wands, which is the Wounded Warrior. And remember what I just talked about my harmonic egg experience, where they were showing me that the Wounded Warrior didn't become a Wounded Warrior as a human. He started out as the Wounded Warrior in child's pose, skinned, having already experienced being the stone. You know, first for me, I was described as being wind, and then the stone, and then the animals and plants, and then graduating to the human. But I gave you the story about my harmonic egg, about how we'd already been damaged by those lives and been skinned as well. So here is now the Wounded Warrior in child's pose, beginning his human existence already as the Wounded Warrior, and now learning to rise above that as the human consciousness. So again, that was bringing that back for this read. So I finished clarifying this twin flame read at 247, which is the High Priestess, and the Seven of Cups, which for me is synchronicities, also is choices. Sometimes can be confusing because there's too many choices. The major arcana here were Guidance, which is the Hierophant, Transition, which is the Death card, the Star, Reflection, which is the Hermit, and Indigo, which is the Magician. Before the read, Ascension came up, which is the World, and after the read, Karma came up, which is the Judgment card. We had 3 Wands, 1 Cup, and 2 Pentacles. There were no swords today. We had a whole lot of swords yesterday, so there's none today. And mostly wands here. So we're talking about wands and the underlying energy as well for the union read. So wands are a big deal today with the Knight of Wands and the Two of Wands. And then we had the Knight of Wands come up as one of the major cards, and the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. And after the read, the Knight of Cups came up again, and that came up in the union read on the masculine side. So that's another way you can parallel or identify which players are which. So the Knight of Cups definitely came up on the masculine side. And we also have the Knight of Wands, the King of Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands within the read. So the numbers that came up in the read, we had triple tens again, reminding us to keep our vibration really high and clean right now during this portal period. We also had 44 and 88, 44 being the mastering, grounding, integrating of love. the Four of Cups energy, and also the 88 of the two twins dancing, both balanced between their masculine and feminine, doing the dance in order to merge together to become the infinity symbol on its side and do that infinite dance between each other, where then each just becomes one of the loops of the infinity symbol. So the other numbers that came up here, the most significant numbers in the read were number 5, which is expansion, freedom, and change, the 8, the 88, and then the 10, 10, 10. Those are the most significant here. But we also have the 58 of the Four of Swords, which is the connection in the 5D, but also rest, break, meditation, prayer, all those kind of energies. 810, which is 0, backing up the 81 of the end of karma. And then 48 of the walking away and within, the 8 of Cups. We also had 34 of the 8 of Wands, 45, the 5 of Cups, 57, the 3 of Swords, and that's it. The code line was all about the number 10, again, destiny, that high vibration, the trill of the 1010, and that's the computer language as well. The code line was all about spiritual career. And here's where the messages went. So there's a lot of physical health issues coming up today in the code line. To see, well, number 1, to see the foe or the false, and there's a tiff. So there may be like an argument started, but it's a distraction purposely done. See the foe tiff or the false argument. After death, dealing with ESP, using your telepathy, that high vibe destiny of the Re, which is the shaman energy, and the Native American was coming up with my word this morning. So it's coming up again here with the Re, which can represent shaman energy. Re has other definitions as well, but that's what's coming up right here. But also Rhode Island was coming up. And then 1 of 2, or mastectomy may be coming up here. And this could be something that's already happened, but obviously then something would be going on with the mastectomy right now. So maybe a follow-up or just something else to deal with. To see the false source, right? If you get a source, maybe it's not a real source. Expanding and contracting. AIDS and PT were coming up here. So again, physical care or a good destiny regarding mastectomy. GIGU issues coming up here as well. And dealing with an ending, death, or transition, and toggling up on ice or urgent care. Also iced tea may be coming up here as an energy source. Somebody might be living on iced tea, right? Because they're not getting any sleep or don't have any energy, so they're using caffeine to pump themselves up. Or literally this could be someone using their iced tea to put cold on a spot that needs cold energy. So there's very much about hot and cold for healing right here, energy source and spiritual career, spiritual care, you all needing urgent spiritual care or urgent care. But again, it's talking about physical care here too, but not to forget the spiritual urgency as well. Because some of these physical issues may be coming from the need to heal your emotional body and your spiritual body, not so much your physical body. That's why your physical body is still retaining these issues, because there's other issues that need to be cleared first. So then we have the RI coming up as some of the acronyms. It was really funny because CFO and FOTI came up, and also TIFA, which are bad words, the F word and the S word. Literally, so somebody might be cursing a lot. Again, we have, so that's the F, and then shit to me isn't that big a word. I mean, it is your poop. And so that I'll say, but I won't say the F word. It's just not something I like to say. So literally ice was coming up as a definition, and heat in the same word with another letter added. So heat and ice were definitely like both part of the same thing, right? Because the polarities and merging them together. So CFO is coming up, which is asthma. Asthma is coming up. And again, to have sex, which is also coming up with the other definitions of to annoy, to bug, to bother. So again, this is paralleling with someone who doesn't want to have sex with their partner because it's coming up as bothersome to someone. It also means to steal, to eat, to damage, or to break. And so another interpretation of the code line was asthma, source. So the source of someone's asthma, they were coming up with a couple different things here. One could be faded patina, so dyes, some kind of faded dye that you're wearing. Like if you have a shirt with faded dye on it, that might be the source of your asthma. Expanding and contracting. If you're doing too much expanding and contracting, that might be the source of your asthma. Sex may be the source of your asthma. It may be your sexual partner. Some people are allergic to their partner. Annoyance also, because that's stressful, could be a source of your asthma, as well as a break or damage or theft coming up as a source to your asthma. Miasma is coming up too, because that's like asthma, but miasma. So any of those negative type energies, miasma too. You can look that up if you'd like. So destined of the number 10 to stay, remain, or be left. Good luck transitioning with heat and ice energy. You all need spiritual or urgent care. So this could literally be somebody walking away saying this to a group of people who are not awake. Also to see curse words coming up, the F word and the S word. Or perhaps someone's writing an essay about curse words. But there's a curse word department coming up here, encouraging one of two, or mastectomy or GIGU transition issues. So somebody might be cursing about that stuff, or just dealing with paperwork and, all of that stuff. I'm blanking out on the word. I'm sorry. Ever since I get hit by a car, my brain just doesn't retrieve words the way it used to, even though it was slow already from menopause and all that kind of stuff. But I apologize because I have trouble retrieving words sometimes. Red tape is what I was trying to think of. Okay. So you might just be dealing with red tape regarding health issues or hospitals, that kind of stuff. And that's very interesting because my son is dealing with some red tape with an office visit. And then heat and ice, hot and cold energy. And again, spiritual career, but I was also getting the caffeine from the iced tea that came up. Asthma and shit department was coming up here. And tenure, enriching one of two, or again, the mastectomy. And that can be support as well. Support poles. The GI and the GU, somebody might be having a colonoscopy. Transition of heat to ice energy. Oh, and that's awful too. All right, so the iced tea, because the stuff you have to drink for the colonoscopy is I would never do it again just because I was so green when I had to do my colonoscopy. But someone who's turning around 50 might be going through a colonoscopy, and I hope they've changed what you have to drink because that was just awful. But also heat and ice are coming up here, and iced tea, maybe iced tea, you're allowed to take iced tea to help it go down. And again, the age of the sun going into the ice age, which makes sense because the sine wave, they were showing us the age of Pisces going to the age of Aquarius. So the age of Pisces was the down sine wave, and the age of Aquarius is the up sine wave, which is coming in the divine feminine, which would reference the ice age because it's the dark and the cold, as opposed to the sun and the hot of the masculine. But we're right at the middle, so we're like at that ideal place. So we have the Knight of Wands upright in the beginning of the read. Okay, so the underlying energies here with the Knight of Wands on top here, the mini cards on top of that, and then 5 cards down and 5 cards out from the end is the way I usually do this. So we have a 21 card read, which is the world and completion. We have the Knight of Wands upright with below it from the bottom up, Ascension or the world upright, the 7 of Wands reversed, the 4 of Pentacles upright, the 10 of Pentacles reversed, and then the 4 of Wands upright. So the world being complete, perhaps travel, defenseless to energies and attacks, the divine masculine's heart in the Batcave with the 10 of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community, or legacy, or the world, and there's dysfunction or loss here. Perhaps at home, where there is some stability of the actual home, with the Knight of Wands upright, like raring to go, ready to get out of there or get going. The Knight of Swords is reversed, holding their tongue or lashing out, at the 10 of Cups upright, who seem to be happy, but that can be the sham fam as well, who look good on the outside but are having issues within. The family regarding deception and dumping emotional attachments, or someone's pissed off that they dumped all their stuff. The Page of Cups is upright in a falling out with the 6 of Cups reversed, with the Knight of Pentacles upright. So they're both upright, but they may not be getting along, and that could be siblings. on a bridge or on the fence about trees, this can be your neighbor as well, or emotional fulfillment with boredom of feeling sorry for self regarding lovers or affection between others, or the Knight of Wands, or perhaps the older siblings are not wanting to hang out with the younger sibling anymore because they found a best friend and they're too cool for that, right? Or they just are doing things that the younger sibling is not appropriate for. And again, it could just be a new friend that they've really bonded with, the older sibling. The Empress is reversed, the Fool reversed, and the King of Pentacles all reversed here. So there's definite lack here. This is a lack of faith as well. With the King of Pentacles reversed, who could be someone who's just all about the money, or it could be someone who's lost money and status and having a hard time and struggling financially, or just really ungrounded. Both could be all about the money, or with the Empress and the King of Pentacles reversed, and that could be a mother and her grown son. Or they are partners, maybe they're exes and they foolishly had sex, or is pissed about lovers or Gemini upright, or they're pissed that kids are having sex, or about a lack of affection from their kids because there's been a falling out here. So children are definitely affecting your love life here. Beneath that, though, was worth waiting for. But it's noting the top card is that children are affecting your love life. And why are you allowing them to do that? Because they shouldn't be controlling you and you shouldn't be controlling them. It's about parenting, is about guiding your children, especially when they're very young because they don't know how to take care of themselves. But nobody should be controlling each other and their decisions when it's appropriate for them to make those decisions. So we have at 407, and that's my sweet spot, right, of the numbers 1 to 9, 4 to 7 is the sweet spot in the middle. So 407 is the Emperor and the 7 of the Chariot. And then I was getting, will the real lovers or twins please stand up? Because we have 2 sets of lovers right here in the underlying energy. There could be 2 Geminis, or literally twin siblings. The Queen of Wands is upright, detoxing, being territorial, with the Queen of Swords reversed, and the Man in the Mirror, and she's associated with the Queen of Swords, or he's associated with the Queen of Swords reversed, with issues at work, with a big love, and being strong-armed or tackled, defenseless to unwanted advances, or rubbing their nose in it, forcing them to drink the water. Again, this could be an issue of 2 partners and one not wanting to have sex. When not wanting to be touched, being ganged up on by big palms at work. And this could literally be a feminine, like abusing the masculine here. Big palms at work or away from work in Miami. And this could be kids or a partner who's away in Miami, or taking a family trip for the kids, but one partner not wanting to be with the other, but the other partner trying to force them to have sex. Forced against their will to swim, to drink, to have sex, etc. And again, this is a very difficult topic because, some people in marriage will say there's no such thing as forced sex in marriage, but that's BS, right? So, and it's very hard to prove that, right, in a marriage. So there's an issue here and a wound, a topic that needs to be brought up and addressed. Capricorn reversed and Leo upright, Gemini upright times 2, or twins, and Taurus reversed and Aries reversed. So there could be several combinations here. There could be 2 Geminis. There could be Taurus reversed and Aries reversed. Self-love is coming up with 61, which is taking a risk to love yourself first. And beneath that was effort with number 13, which is the death or transition card. Detoxing chaos and bad habits here. We have the Queen of Cups upright looking for Romeo. Perhaps there's a divorce of the King and Queen of Pentacles, both reversed here, or both with Taurus in their charts. The Queen of Cups is upright and the Knight of Cups is reversed, recovering from not having spoken up for themselves, or 2 knights or kids or employees recovering from a divorce or a business that's going out of business of the King and Queen of Pentacles, both reversed. So it could be a closing or just temporary issues, or having issues personality-wise with the people at work or your own children, or the children are being affected by a divorce, that kind of thing. So grass in Chinese was coming up, as well as wheatgrass and Moroccan. Jealous Knight of Cups reversed, perhaps being insincere as well, or it could just be moody and feeling rejected as well. The Knight of Swords reversed may be lying or verbally abusive, or just cutting them off and not wanting to deal with them anymore. Or 2 fighting for the last flower bulbs at the store, or holding back an announcement until all are on board, or until the jury agree on a recovery. And obviously that would be for a court case. 5 to 6 people may be here. There's a lot of people here. But only the Queen of Cups is upright. The Knight of Swords reversed and the Knight of Wands is upright. 2 sets of lovers or families or Gemini twins or 2 sets of twins here. The Knight of Wands could be lying or lashing out or withholding the truth from their family about 2 sets of lovers or twins, and no one seems to be happy about what's going on here. The twins could be the Empress reversed and the King of Pentacles reversed, or the Page of Cups reversed and the Knight of Pentacles upright, or the Knight of Swords reversed and the Knight of Wands upright. And it was showing us all these pairs because it's showing us all the obvious differences, right? Because twins are always of different ages, different culture, different religion, whatever it is. There's always a major difference there. Defenseless to attacks, energies, or without excuse. But now the twins refusing to argue, refusing to feed into the need that they need to defend themselves because they don't. It's being self-love. Or Gemini twins are literally trying to fix everyone in the family, which is really funny. And that could be even Gemini twin kids. With the help of the Queen of Cups, who is upright, as well as the Knight of Wands, who's upright. The very most underlying energy here is the Tower and the Two of Wands, which is literally the epiphany of the twins. That also can be an orgasm between the twins because there's sexual energy shared. But it's also sudden events and epiphanies, explosions, eruptions regarding a choice of path and the twin flame path. So a sudden choice of path or sudden event, or an epiphany requiring a new path, or twins suddenly together, released from prison or fears and anxieties without options here, or perhaps picked a new option but can't implement it right now, with the Empress reversed, who may be coming off as the star, but in an abusive way if she's reversed, or in very much the lack, right? The Empress reversed can be a really abusive boss or mother, grandmother, aunt, whatever it is. But she can also be a very neglective one who expects others to take care of her, someone who's very needy. But it just has to do with that lack energy. It also could be someone who's miscarried or someone has a health issue. And obviously, they're doing the best they can with that, hopefully. So she's coming up as the star, which also can just mean that they're Aquarius for me. Of the 10 of Pentacles, reverse though, dysfunctional family. Like who wants to be the star of the dysfunctional family? And that's kind of what's coming up. It also could be a family who's going through a loss. Family, business, community. It could be a family business together. Somebody may be hanging their head in shame here, though, like doing the shame walk, the walk of shame the night after. But this is about coming out to a family, and no matter what you're coming out with, them not approving of that. So the walk of shame. With the Page of Wands reversed and the Page of Pentacles reversed, or kids may be embarrassed to be seen with their family because the kids don't want to be like their family. Or released by not choosing the Empress reversed or lack mentality, and Taurus reversed and or Aquarius upright, could be the same person, are healing by misery loves company. So again, that would maybe what the family is, and these kids are wise to that and don't want to be a part of it. They may not have a choice right now. They might be too young, but they're not happy about it and they're not going to feed into that. So the recent past here is the King of Pentacles reversed, perhaps committed under the radar. So that could be literally committing someone, but it also could be a commitment to a business, to a marriage, whatever it is. The King of Pentacles is reversed, committed under the radar, suffering in silence or dealing with their sister, and the Page of Wands reversed, the Page of Cups upright, and the Sovereign reversed, which can be all children. Perhaps they're being seen by the doctor or by an advisor or by a therapist or just some kind of medical or some kind of professional. Or this could be a grandfather too, who's like, if they're all fighting, it's like a grandfather sitting them down one at a time, getting their version of the story to be wise about it. Or the King of Pentacles reversed is all about the money, and Taurus, there's religion, establishment, marriage, someone wanting attention, right? So the King of Pentacles or the husband is a workaholic, and the wife is mad because she's never getting attention from him. And of course, he's going to say that I'm doing it for the family because, you have an expensive way of living, so I have to support you. And she's going to say, but what's the point of that? Because if I never see you, what's the point of having all that money, right? So that kind of energy, but also a sister may be coming up. Also suffering in silence, stressed out at night, purging, with the Page of Wands reversed and the Page of Cups upright. Spending, there could be overspending here of the kids, or the mother spending too much on the kids or too much on herself and not spending the child support on the kids where it's supposed to go. and powerless here, being illuminated by the Hermit and the King of Wands, who's passionately sending out perhaps a PI to get the dirt on someone, perhaps the Hermit or this professional, or that could be a Virgo energy too with the Hermit. At 5:35, which is the Hierophant and the Wounded Warrior, or the King of Wands is sending an air sign out to do their dirty work for them, which has been a trend here. So sometimes it's hard to tell like who's the masculine and who's not, but there's the King of Wands. If you're dealing with the King of Wands and the King of Swords, or the King of Wands and the King of Pentacles, the King of Wands, maybe, you know, he can be very charming and manipulate people into doing their dirty work for them. So it's very much that energy. However, he is upright here. But he may be sending them out to do their dirty work for them, but they've consented to that, so it doesn't make him a bad guy because they said okay when they shouldn't, right? Or they're literally just trying to get the dirt on something or get the information about what's going on with the kids. That could be as well. Or someone could be trying to get records or steal records before seen by the Hermit, or expunging records for kids, which is funny too because my son's trying to get some records sent somewhere else. So poor judgment or deliberation between the Hermit and the King of Wands, getting over injustices, or the Taurus upright and Libra reverse not getting along here, or it's someone with Taurus and Libra in their chart. Perhaps Taurus is spending Libra's money and they're pissed off, or allowing the kids too much spending or too much freedom in that way. Or in a breakup, expecting more child support when actually the parent is spending the child support money and not using it for the children. Or the King of Pentacles, or the masculine may be assuming that. And the King of Pentacles reversed can't afford her lifestyle and is losing money and or status at the present moment. The foundation here is the Ten of Cups upright, finding emotional fulfillment with lover or lots of affection, the injustice of reaping rewards, or perhaps feeling guilty about reaping rewards, which were much less than expected, perhaps not feeling worthy enough, or not sure it's enough money to retire on, or to go on a vacation, or get a break, a rest, healing, right? So they didn't have as much as they thought they'd have before. So not, even though it's plenty, it's the Seven of Pentacles, it's not the Ten of Pentacles, but it's, you know, plenty of money, still not feeling worthy, right? Because they have a false sense of what self is. The Six of Cups reversed, a falling out between people, or a negative past, a negative childhood, or kids acting up. Perhaps heading out or handing out to get over feeling sorry for themselves, you know, to make them, when you have that really uncomfortable feeling inside yourself, doing silly things like, you know, paying your children to be happy, or, you know what I mean, giving them things, giving them the gifts they want. So lending out or handing out or getting out to get over feeling sorry for selves, or getting over the past. It's like someone also telling others that, get over the past, what's done is done, let go. So the central energy here is the guidance of how to move on and get all the work done, being patient with self, or working hard to be patient, or with patience and bad blood between patient angel or Sagittarius and the Queen of Cups upright, or working toward a higher love with third party Queen of Cups, or working to clear your record, while the King of Wands is inspired to add one more project or wand onto the load that you already have, the Ten of Wands. Taurus, marriage, religion, establishment, bleeding out in a painful betrayal or ending pain, or dealing with back pain and related treatments, challenged by transition, post-death or ending, or a near-death experience, or just dead tired of the never-ending process, and the Knight of Wands and the Queen of Swords reversed in an energetic exchange without having an option about it. The Knight of Wands rushing in to rescue the Queen of Swords reversed, High Priestess, or secret, finding self-satisfaction and happiness here. Working to align without peace, stuck in emotional thoughts, the Queen of Swords reversed may be an issue at work, and she could be an Aquarius upright. We also have Libra reversed. The Knight of Pentacles offering help or friendship to the whole wide world, or just Pisces, or the Seal Divine Feminine, or Dream Girl, or Patient Angel, Sunshine, or Pisces, Sag and Leo, kids or pets are in the sun on vacation, on break, or just taking a rest. Present to the Ace of Cups offer of love, love offered as a gift. from or out of a sudden event, that could be a Scorpio as well, or out of an epiphany or the fire, a blessing in disguise, no longer confused or got rid of a bunch of stuff that you didn't need anyway, and now reaping rewards of time in the yard or in the garden perhaps. Now crowning is the Queen of Wands upright, the star or Aquarius at home, or of the celebration, so there could be some kind of event at home, graduation or event. The Queen of Swords is upright as the wounded warrior, or proposed to at the party or gathering after having to keep it secret. So this could be somebody else's party where somebody else is getting proposed to, or it could be the same one as well. It could be a gathering where they don't know it's going to be for them, but they're actually getting proposed to. There could be some kind of surprise here, or it's just a planned big event. The Chariot, Cancer, or a bold move or travel or car to receive an offer of love. While the Knight of Cups upright then turns around after offering love to offer love or condolences to perhaps a Scorpio reversed or someone with Scorpio in their chart, or the Ten of Pentacles family who is healing because of a loss, perhaps by offering a big monetary gift or their time, money, and effort, and or a new life to the Page of Pentacles reversed, manifesting a big show, but not settling out and leaving early. So this could be someone who wants to be the big man at the party, saying, I'm going to give you this and this, but then they actually don't follow through and they leave early. This could be someone who's supposed to pay for some of the bills at the party and they actually leave before the bills are due and leave somebody else having to pay for the bills. The King of Cups reverse may get stuck with the bill. The Queen of Wands offering a new life to reap rewards, spending the family, business, or community money. Or fantasizing is now over for the Ten of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community, or legacy. That could be an inheritance as well. With the wounded warrior surrendering to new passion and walking away. And again, this is the Atlas energy of the weight of the world upon their shoulders, but leaving the wounded warrior now behind. So they may be walking away without telling anyone, not putting it out there to the King of Cups reversed. Post-war, Inspector General. So this could be someone inspecting too. Inspecting every little, so someone could be done doing that. Inspecting every little inch of every little thing in a downturn of the King of Swords or Capricorn here. So somebody might have been audited and now somebody's finally walking away from all that. And someone's finally giving up doing that kind of stuff. Or they're tired of dealing with someone like that. So they're not going to deal with them anymore. So soon as the rock star holding on, saving and being practical with the neighboring or the neighborhood now coming full circle, and that can be the world or the divine feminine or Pisces energy, and the Page of Swords stepping up to the plate, spreading the word to release a prisoner or someone who made a bad decision in hindsight, or now with clarity about arousal, juggling, or clowning around, with performing around the world, or with the divine feminine high priestess or Pisces and Virgo or Aquarius. So right here, Aquarius comes here upright and reversed, Pisces upright and divine feminine upright, the twin flames and the hermit upright with the light. They're seeing themselves as the hermit today, the twin flames, seeking the whole truth as the loyal, humble servants, offering help and the gold coin, which is the unity consciousness. The emperor turning people away or sent them into exile, like they don't want to deal with that nonsense. Whatever the kids or the workers are doing, the emperor doesn't like, he's sending them out. He is upright, but he's kicking somebody out or laying someone off or firing them or telling the kids to get out. Sending them into exile to end the pain together, one-to-one. But the two who are exiled, looks like the lovers out in the cold, right? No matter what, they have each other and they'll find their happiness. There's some kind of painful ending and betrayal, yet at the same time ending the pain by seeing each other face to face. And that can be twin flames coming together, connecting, partnering, lovers out in the cold, but as long as they have each other. Release your ex comes up, and you deserve love for the twins. And also religious factors are affecting your love life, and very soon. Around the twins or how they're seen as indigo or magician, offering a stone. The wounded warrior and surrender to exposure, sunshine, kids and pets, or Leo, or just surrendering to being a child and being authentic to themselves and energized to their inner child. Grounding, integrating, taming the beast, or pets with the Queen of Wands and seeing them while she looks away. The hermit with the light, the magician with the diamond, the hermit offering help, and indigo surrendering in order to be happy. Someone may be staying home with the kids or pets while the other goes on vacation. Aries upright and Virgo upright, possibly two Virgos, and then Gemini upright and Leo upright, possibly two Leos here. The block being the Eight of Pentacles, working, aligning, lining the steps with crystal towers. The King of Wands rushing back after leaving a gift, or just worried about being home when a delivery arrives. Or the Knight of Wands rushing back to get new information and clarity, perhaps to say thank you for a gift. Maybe they didn't realize it was a gift at the time they received it. Spiritual career comes up here, as well as communication and manifestation for the twins. The Hermit missing their flame, and the High Priestess with keys or dropping them off. Virgo and Pisces and the pursuit of happiness or hot pursuit. Or big explosion, eruption, whether this is sex or a brawl, or offering love as a present by letting go of all others and reaping rewards of the Divine Feminine's heart. The Queen of Wands may be on fire, and the King of Swords defenseless to juggling or performance in a twist of fate. The Knight of Cups upright and offering love to the Queen of Swords reversed, or Aquarius reversed, perhaps being in love with this person even though they don't necessarily deserve it because they're being a jerk at work. This could be someone who's verbally abusive or just causing issues at work, but this is someone not allowing them to change them being love. Like they're going to be love to everyone no matter what, right? So it's like them testing their powers of love out with this Queen of Swords reversed, Aquarius, now walking away to put all their efforts into the Queen of Pentacles upright to get her on top. And that could be an earth sign or just someone who's very earthy and practical, but she's upright. And 637 is the Lovers and the King of Cups, or unconditional love. Or at least get her sitting pretty on top, okay? So the Knight of Wands is upright, emotionally fulfilled with the Hermit reflection and indigo proposal, and the King of Pentacles reversed with guidance, challenged by the never-ending story of the rock star's path, instead of paved with gold, paved with crystals, and the Queen of Wands all fired up, causing a brawl or rave reviews. So it could be one extreme or the other. There's a lot of fire here with the Queen of Wands. Perhaps the star of the show, the King of Swords, without a need for excuse, performing as usual and being loving with issues at work and foolish decisions perhaps that were made by other people, walking away when they're through, unafraid of hard work and leaving the wounded warrior behind them. The Knight of Wands and the King of Pentacles reversed, lying to each other, or perhaps they're sparring. The Ten of Cups family with guidance, Taurus, establishment or religious leader, and the Queen of Wands are challenged by getting over an ending or death. Reflection of dreams, or Virgo and Aquarius, both upright here, and indigo proposal of Gemini or another Virgo, could be two Virgos here, working on pursuing their dreams, willing to fight for their dreams. The Knight of Cups being loving even to Aquarius, who's not getting along with them at work. The King of Swords refusing to be triggered by the gang, who's freaking out or kicking everyone out, being loving in the face of the Queen of Swords reversed, Aquarius, issues at work, or the silent one, or the wounded, right? The Queen of Swords reversed can be the very wounded one who's just silent because they're so wounded, they're not talking. That could be a third party through work. He leaving all in order as he walks away, carrying the weight of the world, but leaving the wounded warrior behind. And that was at 648, which is the Lovers and the Eight of Cups, walking away and within. Let's see here. So again, a reminder that the Incas came up, as well as the turtle and the grandfather being wise. And that could very much be this hermit energy, giving other people advice, you know, that wise, that salt of the earth type of energy. But remember that the turtle's like the Knight of Pentacles, which is also right here on the twins. And here's the Emperor, which could be the grandfather. And then we have the Incas of the shaman, which is the King of Wands in this deck, when it is the main card. But he's not in the main cards here today. Not that I can remember. Is the King of Wands there? Yeah, no, the Knight of Wands is in the main cards, which is a different energy. All right, so we're going to pull some cards. And again, we had the Sun, Libra, and the number 5, which can be the Hierophant. So it could be Taurus coming up here too, and Leo with the Sun. So Libra, Leo, and Taurus. So there could be a triangle there with those 3 signs as well. And let's see what the Animal Spirit deck has to say. All right, for the Twin Flames, what is our takeaway with the Animal Spirit deck? Okay, we have the dolphin, nice energy. We have the raccoon too. The raccoons were so cute at that wolf adventure that I went to. I had some really pretty pictures of the raccoons playing with each other. So we have, right, the raccoon has a mask, and it looks like they're in the rain here, right? Feeling bad about stealing your trash perhaps. But the dolphin, and this is like the Queen of Swords reversed, and then the Knight of Cups is the dolphin. Like the dolphin's being all loving and cheer, right? You have the pink and gold, which is that beautiful compassion, beautiful energy. And then here's the Queen of Swords feeling sorry for themselves. And they're going to be love and exude their love out to help heal the raccoon, even if they're not being nice to them. That's definitely the energy I'm getting here. And then we have the Scorpion. So the Scorpion could be the Queen of Swords too, right? Because there's different definitions for the Queen of Swords. So the one who's hurt could be this one. The one who's being verbally abusive could be the Scorpion, right? Because they're stinging with their words. So that's the underlying energy. And the Scorpion came up yesterday too as being in between the 2 birds. And here with the zebra who's got their third eye open, right? And they're very different from the rest with their stripes. And there was a parallel at my parents' service with the zebra to the tiger, because my father came up as the tiger and I as the zebra, that people don't see me, but I really have the tiger within, right? They see me as the zebra though, because they see me as much more passive. So it's kind of interesting the way that came up. So let's see what the dolphin says in the raccoon for you guys. So we have earth and water, which of course go well together. And the dolphin's the end for sure, yeah. So innately intelligent, healer, light, and blessings. And blessings came up in the read as well. You know, blessings in hindsight, not realizing at the time, that all that came up a couple times in the read. The gifts of the dolphin are beyond what our human minds can grasp. The dolphin personalities are often drawn to the healing arts as they are sensitive to the subtle and enjoy working on a level of spirit. It's easy for dolphin types to underestimate the impact they make in the world. These creatures play such an important role in the wheel of karma that coming in contact with a dolphin type will change the entire course of your day and thus your life. This card can also indicate a profound blessing is on the way. When in balance, they're active healers, strong spiritual practice. When they're out of balance, they underestimate their own power. And to bring into balance like-minded spirits. And that parallels with what I just said about the zebra and the tiger. Because especially growing up, I always underestimated my own power. So people always ended up underestimating me because I always wanted to stay in the background. But in the background, I felt safe enough to rise when people weren't looking at me. So it's being the tiger in the clothes of the zebra, right? And now allowing yourself to come out to be the tiger and be seen as how you truly are. So it's kind of interesting the way the dolphin came up there. And then the raccoon is the earth. And the raccoon is talented, shadowy, and hiding. And again, that came up with skin and hiding, right? Using the skin to hide. The raccoon energy is at play with all artists to greater or lesser degrees. At best, it indicates talent, tenacity, and skillfulness with a particular musical instrument or creative tool. Its shadow side points to an unresolved issue around self-image and success, sometimes using a stage name or wearing a mask, or like I did, hiding in the background, not really wanting to be seen out front. Sometimes a stage name or wearing a mask works in an artist's favor, but other times it limits their creativity. Am I who my audience thinks I am? What if I'm ready to grow into something more? The raccoon energy won't let us off the hook until this creative ego fear is resolved. So when you're in balance, generous friend, exceptional artist. And when out of balance, competitive and starving artist. To bring into balance, make new work. So be creative, basically. When you're feeling uncomfortable, feeling like you're in the rain, it's time, if you're a raccoon type, it's time to be creative. And with the dolphin, time to connect with another spiritual friend. So let's see what the journey of love has for you. I love that it came. It's 1:11 on the clock now. It was just 1:10:11. It's now 1:20, 1:10:20. But all the ones were coming up together. But I love that 12:21 came up with 2020 today. That was pretty profound. All right, so from the journey of love, what is our card today? Take a deep breath. All right, we have the drop into your heart, 68, which is the Page of Pentacles. And this is the combination of the emerald and magenta colors, right? The high heart and the heart, the compassion and the physical health of the heart, and the Page of Pentacles, which is all about opportunities and start manifesting something new. An invitation, a student, a project, whatever it is, creating something new. Drop into your heart in order to create something new, to be creative again. Don't forget to keep dropping back into your heart. And then the bottom of the deck is Heart of the Moment. So here we have the heart twice. And this is the 16 of the sudden event, the Tower moment, or the Epiphany. Drop back into your heart for those epiphanies. Okay, you see the colors here, the red between the green and the magenta. And of course, if you darken the magenta, it may become, or darken the magenta, perhaps using some emerald green, you're going to get more of a red color because it'll be darker. So it's like saying the space between, this is the heart, between the high heart, the physical etheric heart, and the compassionate heart lies the physical red heart. Okay, it's kind of like paralleling that energy. And again, the chakra rays coming up here, like put the power here. Put the power in your heart. Your etheric hearts of the heart, the physical heart and the high heart, and then your actual physical body heart. So it's actually showing you that you have 3 hearts, 2 spiritual and 1 physical. Well, that's very interesting because I've never seen it come up that way before. The next 2 cards, you guys, are this always reminds me of a fallopian tube. And it's so weird because I had this exact black ribbon around the lamp next to where I am right now because there's a little crack in the lamp. It's and I just didn't want it ever to get worse than it is. So I put this exact black ribbon around it. It's so weird. So this is like a fallopian tube, so it can show you the pearl or the egg coming through into the womb, the deliverance, because that came up in the read as well, the spiral dance of the goddess, the spiral energy goes up and up and up, right? And here's the spirals again of the energy waves, and again referencing the spirals here of the lovers coming together out in the cold is the 57, right? So that represents very much that 5 of Pentacles type of energy, where as long as they have each other, they keep it simple. They have each other and no worries. You see, they're just both looking up at the sky. The spiral dance of the goddess, and drop into your heart and be with your lover. The heart of the moment, the 16, the epiphany, the orgasm, the sudden event, the eruption, blowing your top, blowing your crown, blowing your mind. All of those energies of the tower are coming up here. But the first card was this one. So let's see what that says for you. The drop into your heart, 68. There's a place of light within that no darkness can touch. It cannot be shamed. It can never be made impure. It is never lost or darkened or unavailable to us, though we might forget sometimes, sitting in a darkened room and not realizing we can stand up and walk into the light so close to us, just on the other side of the doorway to the heart. Whatever may arise, great joy, great sorrow, drop into your heart and offer it to the divine, gently bowing your forehead to your hands in prayer. Connect mind to heart. Let yourself have some peace. It wants you, you know. This oracle brings you an offering. The divine would like you to offer whatever is bringing your heart trouble, or of course joy. The divine would like to receive this from you as a gift, that it may return to you some special blessing. Hold your hands at your heart, and in genuine reflection, perhaps you may choose to offer your heart burden or light now. Either will be joyfully received by the divine, as you shall be graced with a gift in return. And the poem says, it's titled Longing, which the Queen of Cups, and I'm going to show you the Queen of Cups here. Here's the Queen of Cups. Okay, she's Juliet longing for her lover, for her Romeo. Longing, the dance to move beyond the feeling that draws me forward to a place born within, that calls my soul to feel complete. And again, that has to do with self-satisfaction of that Nine of Cups energy, of being totally happy with self no matter what. So how can you ever fall apart when you've found total satisfaction? So then anything that comes into your life, including a partner, is just the icing on top, right? So remembering that energy. Okay, one more little. All is well. Stay here and today. If you're uncomfortable, love, just focus on where it feels uncomfortable in your body and send love to it. That's all you need to do. Accept it, allow it. That all is always well in every moment. Rise and be well.